Welcome back. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos and based on the views and comments, you haven't. Probably noticed that I don't usually talk about hate. I don't talk about things that I hate. Friend zone notwithstanding, it's not more of a hate, it's more of a I don't get it. But when it comes to things I don't like, it's certainly more of a disappointment. I don't usually rage and talk about, oh, I hate that thing too much. And there are some things I do hate. When it comes to things like entertainment, like movies and TV shows, I try to keep it kind of not as angry as others. But with that said, there are movies I will walk out of a theater, or I'll take out the DVD and I'll be like, oh, can't believe that. Oh, that sucked. So this list is about movies that I watched and were disappointed by. So this is my top 12 disappointing movies. This is a dirty dozen of disappointing movies. This will be done in 3 parts. This will allow me to get my thoughts down better and will give me more time to talk about each movie individually. Okay, so here we go. Part 1. Let's go. Number 12 on my list is Saw 3. Now, I enjoyed the first 2 Saw movies quite a bit. They weren't the torture porn they ended up becoming, and this is the movie I thought where that started. Where the movie started to gravitate more towards, let's see what kind of cool traps we can get, instead of let's develop the characters. Because in the first 2, you developed the characters pretty well, and you ended up either wanting to see them get killed or wanting them to survive. But starting with 3, it was almost like you didn't care either way if they lived or died. And I don't think that's a good thing when you're talking about, characters that we're supposed to be following and even rooting for. So, not only that, they kill. I will spoil every movie I talk about, just so you know. They also killed off a character I liked, and one of the characters that I had grown to really enjoy watching and even root for in the first 2 movies. She didn't have... Yes, she. The woman who... I forget her name. Dang it. I haven't watched the first 2 Saw movies in a while, so I blank on her name. Sorry. But she was introduced in the first movie. She was just some runaway, apparently. Then the second one, she has part of a new game, and in the end, she becomes the new Jigsaw. She takes over for him. And I thought that was really cool. I was hoping that would happen. I got what I wanted, and it made me kind of excited to see the new one when it came out the next year. Unfortunately, they kill her off. We follow one character, but we're supposed to care about him, but the things that he does in the movie aren't that good. He's not as relatable at some certain points, and it seems more like they were going for just let's torture people. And not to mention, this is the start of trying to tie all the movies together, 1, 2, and 3, and it kept on going with 4 through the rest of them. And it was the start of it there, and I don't like that. I mean, I think these movies should either stand alone, and if you're going to reference the second one, you can reference it, but you don't have to tie it to the second one and the first one, and then tie the fourth one to the third, second, first in some convoluted way. I always stick with just the first 2 Saw movies, to be honest. But if you enjoy that sort of torture genre of horror, then by all means, check it out. Number 11 on my list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time. Yeah. I said there wasn't going to be too much hate, but I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan back in the day. The early 90s, that was one of my favorite shows, my favorite cartoons. It was so much fun. And the first movie came out, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. It was kind of like the cartoon, but its own thing as well. It was different from the cartoon, but it was still the basic story, and I like that. The second one, a little more campy, a little more geared towards kids. Yes, you know, you had the Vanilla Ice cameo in it, but he was a product of the time, so I can forgive that. And I thought that the movie was okay, and yeah, after that I was like, okay, that was a good couple of movies. Then the third one came out, and I watched it, and I was like, what the heck? What the heck is this? Like, this isn't the Turtle movies. I mean, what happened? First of all, the costume sucked. Second of all, they seem to take the word teenager pretty literally, because there were even some Wayne's World references, like swing, like that. Like, if I wanted that sort of thing, I would have watched the Wayne's World movie, not Ninja Turtles. And not to mention, Splinter looked horrible as well if you're going back to costumes. And back to them acting like teenagers, there was a recurring joke of the wet willy that got old fast. It was one of those things, if you don't know what that is, good, was a thing of the thing for a couple of months in the 90s people would do. It was stupid. But apparently that was good enough or popular enough to be put in this movie. Again, stick to the first two. First two are good, decent movies. First one's a good movie that you can, I think, watch today and still enjoy. Second movie is kind of a time capsule of I think 91 or 92 when it came out. But third movie, just skip it. It's like they stopped trying with the third movie. And as big of a fan as I was of Ninja Turtles, it was kind of insulting. Number 10 on my list is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah, this movie should have been called Abomination, because, again, the first Mortal Kombat movie was good. The characters, the story, even the action scenes, the effects, and even the little like fireballs and stuff like that, and the chain from Scorpion, that was done well. I enjoyed it. And I think it's a good movie, and it's set up perfectly for a sequel. Unfortunately, that sequel was horrible. They couldn't get any of the original actors back except for the person who played Liu Kang and the woman who played Kitana. Horrible effects, horrible dialogue. I mean, the people who were the replacements, I mean, the best person was Johnny Cage, and they killed him off in the first 5 minutes of the movie. So, yeah, that was the best new character. And that was the other thing. They killed off so many characters, just one after the other. No character development, no nothing. We don't care. Let's just throw a bunch of the characters in there and then kill them off. And then one of them, it was... Yeah, so one got eaten by a monster and one was just thrown into a fire pit. I was like, towards the end, it was supposed to be the climactic battle, and the one you're supposed to care about seeing, I stopped. I was like, man, what's the point? You had all these other characters. Why didn't you? If either don't use them or use them well? And if you had done it right, you could have had room for a third Mortal Kombat movie, but yeah, this one sucked, so there was no way it's almost like they knew they were going to get a third one, so they said, screw it, throw everybody in there, and it'll just became a crapshoot. It became a crapshoot. Yeah. See here. Yeah. Number 9 on my list of disappointing movies is Untraceable. Now, Untraceable, if you don't know it, it's a good concept and a good idea, but towards the end it was kind of mishandled. It's about a CIA agent, or sorry, FBI agent, who starts sees this website called killwithme.com, and it would be this guy set us up a situation where someone was in some sort of death trap, almost like a saw trap. But the thing was that the more people who log on to the site, the more that the thing was going to kill them started killing them more. Like there's a scene where a guy's sitting in a thing of water, just regular water, and then more people log on, some sort of liquid, some sort of chemical is added to it to turn it into like battery acid, and the killer is sitting there off to the side of the camera, and he tells them, if nobody was watching, you'd just be sitting in water. And it's a good scene, and it was pretty good. But towards the end, it was going good, staying here, and then it just went a nosedive towards the last act of the movie. It's like they rushed the ending. The last act of the movie, they rushed it, apparently, it looked like, and it was not nearly as good as it could have been, and the ending was flat, I thought, anticlimactic. Yeah, it was. It could have been really good, even showed like a message of, public executions and how bad it could be and how it could end up being sponsored by people. You had that sort of undertone to it, but it wasn't brought up enough, and it was kind of shunned aside just to see, the good guy win at the end. It wasn't that good. Could have been a lot better, I thought. But what are you gonna do? Alright, that's part 1. Part 2 is coming up, so stay tuned.